as a team, Paquetá, Mikel Antonio, ahead of Sunday?
There's no availability for Lucas Paquetá. He's not ready yet, and Mick started a couple of days training, but I have to say he's only trained 2 days with the group. So he's looking okay, but obviously he's been out for the best part of 3 months, so it's where he's still off it as far as being match fit and available really at the moment.
You've had a full week. I usually say that's probably a good thing to get some players back to fully fitness, but then you're kind of a squad who like game after game, don't you? It's a funny one. I didn't know how to phrase that one for you.
Well, I've got to say, every time we were having game after game, we were looking forward to some break really and having some normal weeks. We've had a normal week in terms. Look, we've just tried to give the players a little bit of time. It's meant that we've had a bit more time training together, which we've needed because we've just been off the boil a little bit in the last month or so. But partly down to injuries, partly down to players being away, the AFCON and different things. So getting them all back together has been good, and hopefully we can build on it.
That was actually going to be my next question because it was such a brilliant end to 2023. I mean, there needs to be perspective though as well, doesn't there? You're banging the European race.
Yeah.
Last 16 Europa League. Still an exciting few months ahead.
Yeah. It's not bad for West Ham because we've been a lot of years where it's not been that good. Last year we had an unbelievable year. Maybe not in our league position, but if you want to talk about that, the 2 years before we had unbelievable league positions, and we're pushing again this year. We have to keep working hard to make it happen. You have to be sort of finding a way to challenge all the top teams, and we've been trying to do that. We've beaten Man United once this year, we've beaten Tottenham once this year, we've beaten Arsenal once this year, we've beaten Chelsea once this year. So we're giving the top teams at the moment a game. So I hope we can continue doing that and keep pushing to stay near the top of the league.
Declan back Sunday as well, someone I know you think the world of, obviously. I went to the Carabao Cup game, there was a few groans, and I turned around, I was a little bit surprised, but is it a bit of fun, because most of the crowd were applauding him, standing ovation. But did you must have heard a little bit, didn't you?
Well, first of all, I hope he's not back. I hope for some reason he doesn't turn up. That would be good news, because he's such a talented player and someone who we admire so much. But look, he'll be welcomed back with open arms here. He came to see us the last time he was here. We had him in the League Cup early in the season. He came in to see us. He's thought the world off by everybody behind the scenes here, and in truth he's thought the same off by all the West Ham supporters. What he's done for the club over the years, the way he conducted himself, and if you look at the class he showed, when we all sort of knew he was leaving and there was a lot of media attention about him leaving, he showed great qualities. He attended the functions, dealt with young West Ham supporters and kids, so he deserves respect for all those things as well.
Calvin, is it just a matter of just let him play some games? Because he watched games for City and now he's playing for West Ham. It takes a while in this league, doesn't it?
Yeah, we want him back. We brought him in to be a key player for us. I believe he will be. I think he is going to take a little bit of time just to get himself back up and running, but that's fine. I've got no problem with that. We've got good midfield players. He's an addition to them. I need him to supplement what I've got as well, help out through injury, suspension, and hopefully his form would mean that he was always a starter. But no, we're happy to give him a bit of time and let him break his way in.
Finally from me, you'll love this one. IFAB thinking of bringing in blue cards, sin bins potentially to trial at the FA Cup and the Women's FA Cup next season for cynical fouls and dissent. What's your view on that?
Well, I think we're playing around with too much at the moment. I think we're still in the process of trying to understand the wholly VAR. Everybody's still trying to go. I think the introduction of another new thing is not good at this time in the game. I don't think it's necessarily required. I think there's a lot of other things we're waiting on clarity, more clear understanding and information from the people at the top regarding decision making on the refereeing side of it. So I don't think we need any more at this time in the game.
There'd also be a concern potentially what would be deemed cynical and how long you'd have to wait for it to be deemed cynical, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know. I think we're just playing around with a lot of things. I think there's bits of VAR which has worked really well, and there's bits which haven't worked so well. but I just don't see why we would introduce something else into it at the moment, which would just make it another incident for referees to have to handle.
Thanks, Dave.
Alex?
Hi David, how are you?
Hi there, good, thank you.
Just wondering, what was the reasoning behind training here at the stadium today? Is it ahead of the bigger games you tend to train here?
No, we just felt that the weather, we weren't convinced with the weather. The pitches weren't maybe quite as good as we'd like, so we just felt that there was a chance that we should come here, and we've done that today.
Beaten Arsenal twice already this season. Are you a believer of things coming in threes?
Well, look, I think if you'd given me one of the wins against a side so good, I think I'd have been happy. 2's fabulous. If we make 3, it'll be fantastic, and we'll aim to do that. We've got them at home, but we're also really aware how good a side they are. They're an incredibly good side. Been challenging to win the Premier League for the last 2 years, and we're going to have to play really well.
Just how highly do you rate them? How much of a chance do you think they have of winning the title this year?
Well, I'm not an expert in Arsenal, but I can tell you that I watch their games, and I watch how well they've done. The manager's done a brilliant job with the team. I think they've got some real top quality players, and I mean, you only need to look at the result last week against Liverpool and how well they've been playing this season. So they're a top team. They really are. We done a great job in getting a result at I nearly called it Highbury, the Emirates last month. But overall, you know, we've had a couple of good results against them, but I know that can easily change. We have to work really hard and play well to get something out of the game.
You mentioned Mikel. He made 209 appearances under you. Is it clear when you're managing which players are going to go on to make top managers one day?
No, I don't really think that you work it out. I think Mikel, you could see that Mikel had his own ideas, and he'd come from a great background in Spain. But you never know with players. You know, some of the players say that they don't want it. There's being a manager nowadays, there's an awful lot of hassle that goes with it, and there's an awful lot of other things. It's a really privileged position, but there's a lot of other things which affect your family life and all other things. So you have to be willing to be fully committed, and not all the players who you think are going to be managers become fully committed. Mikel has, and I have to say he's doing a brilliant job.
So do you look at any players in your current team and think you're going to be a top manager one day?
Yeah, I get asked that quite a bit, and I do. I think Vladimir Kufal might go back to the Czech Republic and possibly maybe start something there. But again, you have to start getting the feeling of the boys who are doing their coaching badges when they're a bit younger, because too many of the players nowadays want to wait to the end of their career, then start the coaching badges, then think that a job will come along for them. It doesn't. I think you have to start the process much earlier in your playing career if you've really got big thoughts about getting into management.
What is it that you see in Kufal?
I just see somebody who could easily go back and manage. He's a good guy, he's balanced, great trainer, works hard every day, but has also got a good personality, so I feel that. But there you go, I said, I don't know who could make one. You asked me and I've given you an idea who I think might be. I could be miles off the mark.
Brilliant, good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Those 2 Arsenal previous wins you mentioned, of course, in the Emirates in December. Does this make you feel more confident going into Sunday's game, especially since it's at home?
No, it doesn't necessarily make me feel more confident, but it makes me know that I've already taken points from Arsenal this year, and I've shown that we can do it. It's incredibly difficult, the 2 games, but we scored goals against them, and that would be the key. If we can get some goals against them, then we'll give ourselves a chance, and we hope that our home form in the main for most of the season has been pretty good, and we hope we can keep that up.
In terms of your opposition style of match, I think Mikel Arteta perhaps had quite a few maybe doubts at the start of his Arsenal managerial career. What are your thoughts on Arsenal under him and what he's done for the team?
Well, I think he went in the first couple of weeks. I think he won the FA Cup, and then a few weeks after that he won the Community Shield. So it's not a bad start for anybody who's getting into a big job. So I thought he made a brilliant start to Arsenal. Obviously they may have their eyes on bigger prizes, but I think he's got them challenging for them at the moment. He's got them in Europe, and he's got them near the top of the league. So I think he's doing a really good job.